As our collection of images grows, it can be to our advantage to embed information about the image within the file itself. Now, this information is generally referred to as metadata, and some metadata is added automatically. For example, when we use our digital cameras to capture an image, the camera manufacturer can include information such as the lens that was used and the f-stop or the shutter speed settings. But we can also add our own information and embed it into the file so that it will travel with the image. In Bridge, the easiest way to see this information is by using the metadata panel. So let's double-click on the header that says Preview here, and that will just collapse that so that we can see a lot more metadata about each file. Right below that, the first thing that you'll see in the metadata area is this little placard that would tell you information like the f-stop and the aperture about the image, as well as things like the file size and what color space it's in. Below that, we have additional file properties that will tell us information like the date created and the date modified. But let's go ahead and close those and take a look at the IPTC core. This information is a little bit different because, as you can see, each one of these options has a little pencil icon to the right. So, for example, if I scroll down and I wanted to enter in something like a copyright notice, I could go ahead and click to the right of the word, and then I could manually enter this. But since I want to add the same information to all of these images, it's going to be much easier if I simply create a metadata template. So under the Tool menu, I'll choose Create Metadata Template. Now we can decide what we want to name the template and then fill in all of the information that we want to have applied to each image. So in this case, I'll go ahead and type Option G, which will give me the copyright, and then I'll type my name. If you're on Windows, you want to use the keyboard shortcut Alt and then type in 0169 with the extended keyboard, or you can use the Windows character map utility in order to copy the copyright symbol and then paste it into here. I'll go ahead and select this and then use Command-C on Mac or Control-C on Windows to copy this to the clipboard, because as we scroll down, you can see that I want to enter that same information down here under Copyright Notice. So I'll use Command-V or Control-V to paste that. I'll also mark the copyright status as being copyrighted. Then I'll scroll up, and here at the top, we can add in our contact information. So I'll just type in San Jose and California and 95110 for the postal code. I can also enter in my website, so www.jcost.com, and this information is going to be stored in the photograph. So immediately, anyone who's looking at the photograph and wants to look for this information will know how to contact me. As soon as I've filled in all the information here that I want to have applied to each image, I'll click the Save button, but that just created the metadata template. Now we need to apply it. So I have the first image selected, and then I'll hold down the Shift key and select the last image. And then from the metadata panel, I can use the flyout here in order to either append or replace the metadata. If I had already added some metadata and I simply wanted to add this additional metadata to it, I would use append. If there was metadata in the file that I didn't want and I wanted to use this instead, then I would select replace. I'm going to go ahead and append the metadata, and I'll select the template that we just created. As that's being applied, you can see in the lower left there for just a moment, there was a little icon that twirled around that told me that metadata was being applied to all of those files. So now if I simply click a single image, you can see right here in the metadata panel in the IPTC core area that Bridge has added my creator, the city, state, and province, as well as the link to my website. And if we scroll down further, we can see my copyright notice, as well as the status has been changed to copyright. Now, we use the flyout menu on the metadata panel in order to append that metadata, but I do just want to point out that you can also return to the Tools menu and then use append metadata or replace metadata right here. So it's up to you, whichever you prefer. And that's how simple it is to embed your contact and copyright metadata into your file using Bridge's metadata templates.